United States of America. This is Political Analytical. I'm your host, Eddie Hill, along with Rick Warren and Gordon Park. Join us as we give our opinion concerning everything dealing with politics. We don't hold back, so prepare for a no-nonsense approach to the news, and no, we don't care about your feelings. Uncensored and no sugarcoating. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Political Analytical. I'm your host, Eddie Hill, along with the incredible and dead sexy Rick Warren. We have the serious and often stubborn Gordon D. Park, and we have the very talkative and knowledgeable James Toops. How's everybody doing?
What's up, guys? Fantastic.
Right,
how y'all doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, we have a lot to talk about with all the aspects of our new administration and what we have to look forward to because of their antics and things that they are trying to push forward, along with all these crazy bills that they're trying to implement, including some of the ones which are going to infringe on your Second Amendment rights. And that literally has me pretty upset and pissed off. We're going to start off with Rick Warren and find out a little bit about what he's been keeping up with, and then we're going to go around kind of clockwise on here and find out a little bit about what everybody else has been keeping up with and what's on their minds. Rick, go ahead.
Thank you, Eddie. Hey, last night, I'm pretty sure all of you watched the Super Bowl, maybe. If you did, maybe you caught the part where the entire stadium was booing Biden and his commencement speech to the players on the field and everything. And it was so bad that CBS edited it out. It was not seen. It was not talked about. It was not procured on any other channels because, well, that's just the way, censorship goes, guys, But I mean, I thought it kind of funny that CBS would even think about editing something like that, as big as it was, and on national TV. But they did. They really did. And I wanted to talk about what this upcoming trial. I mean, this is really something that really has caught my imagination and my curiosity, too, as to what are they going to do with an ex-president? How are they going to proceed when it's non-constitutional? There's also news about that if he does not testify, and which he said, I am not going to testify, they're going to go ahead and say that, well, that just actually proves that he's guilty. This was America, guys. What happened to due process? What happened to the fact that you cannot, it is unconstitutional to even think about impeaching a non-setting president? Can you guys give me some answers on that, please?
Gordon, you're the constitutionalist. Why don't you jump on this one?
Well, let's step back before I answer that, Rick, and
okay,
let's look at what all the Democrats have begun to attack on all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
Attack number one is our freedom of speech, freedom of the press. With the censorship that's going on, we are being fed only what the Democrats want us to hear. We are being fed only what they believe that we should hear, and nothing more is allowed to come through the filter. Number two, let's look at the Second Amendment in the bills that they're looking to pass, stating that we now must register all of our weaponry. Any weapon that is not registered, and an $800 tax per weapon. Any weapon that's not registered that you're found with will be confiscated. And you could face jail time and the loss of all your registered weapons. if the bill passes. Let's look at the attack on the Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment allows people to, right now, they must have a warrant to be able to enter your premises to do a search. And they're looking at doing away with that. The Supreme Court is going to rule on that here shortly. So in answer to your question, Rick, we have an illegitimate president that got in by cheating and stealing the election. We have censorship taking place and a gun grab for our guns. We have people now saying that we should be allowed to come into your house and search for guns that have not been registered and you haven't paid an $800 tax on per weapon. So do you really think they give a flying rat's ass about the constitutionality of a president that they hated? It doesn't matter if it's constitutional or not. They've already thumbed their nose at the first 4 amendments of the Constitution in the first, not even the first month, in the first 20 days. They don't care. They are going to do exactly what they want to do. And they are going to use the fact that they claim that Trump is so evil and brought so much hatred towards America to do it. So whether it's constitutional or not is irrelevant. They're going to do it because they can. It goes back to that old joke. Where does an 800-pound gorilla sleep? Anywhere he wants. What are the Democrats going to do when they have the presidency, the House, and the Senate? Anything they want. Because there is no one to stop them.
Well, I have to give thought to that, Gordon, because where are our Republican senators? Where is our representation? Where are the attorneys? Where are the judges that have been nominated and put on that Supreme Court to attain and to uphold not only the Constitution, but the laws of this land and toward the American people? It's just ludicrous, downright ludicrous to think that they have so much power that there's nothing we can do. I find that I find that unacceptable.
I have a quick question. How in the world are they going to be able to get away with this and keep getting away with it? I mean, this is the Constitution of the United States. How can we allow them? How can they allow themselves? How can the law allow them to continuously get away with pulling crap like this?
Good question.
That's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is we allow them to get away with this shit. So when somebody gets on the Senate floor and says, you know what, we need this, and that for black folks. We need this, and that for Asian folks. We need this, and that for Latino groups and stuff like that. Nobody stands up and says, hey, whoa, wait a minute, wait a fucking minute. That shit is racist, what you're doing right there, first of all. Rick, to your point, where is our representation? Their head is in their ass, totally up their ass. Gordon, he's walking off. I don't know. He's probably got a shit or something. But anyway, Gordon's doing his thing. But to Gordon's point, you know what? I'm going to save that for when he gets back because I think that's important. He needs to hear this. I don't know. Where the hell did Gordon go? His pizza pockets probably went off in the microwave. So, look, there's a lot of shit going on right now that our representatives are not representing. Okay? They don't have our back up there right now. They're paying, hey, Gordon, now Gordon's back. So I'll get back to this point. So, Gordon, everything you just said right now, you will get our show canceled. Gordon, I don't know if you know this because everything you said, according to the media and according to their agenda, is a complete and total fucking lie. Everything you said. So guess what? That will get us canceled. That'll get anybody canceled. And that's the problem today. You can't speak your mind. The First Amendment is out of the window. Gordon is being truthful and honest in everything he said. And he's checking his meat. And I hope it's probably not the case. It might be the veiny ass hot dogs he has in that boiling water. I don't know. But love you, Gordon. But yeah, he's being totally honest and factual and you know, representing what we stand for. But shit like that, being honest will get you canceled, and it'll get slander on you and everything. It's freaking ridiculous with what we're going through right now. We don't have representation. We don't have anybody on the floor besides nasty Pelosi with balls enough to stand up and represent their people. That's our problem right now. I think Ted Cruz is the only one that goes up there with a set of actual balls, sits down and calls everybody in their bullshit out.
You saw what happened to Lou Dobbs. Did you guys see that? He was canceled by Fox News and basically told that he could not.
He's still on contract too.
Yes, but he cannot propagate. What does propagate mean? Well, it means that he has his own opinion and that he can come forth with that own opinion, which is under the First Amendment of freedom of free speech and everything. But Fox News seems to think that he cannot do that. So therefore, they're going to invalidate his contract. And now he has had to walk off of Fox News and had to close the door, pack his boxes, but he has a good gig going over there on Newsmax.
Well, you know, that's kind of weird,
he
though,
went to
Rick, because,
Newsmax?
I mean, you still have Hannity and all of them on there. You've got, I mean, they speak their mind. I mean, well, all of a sudden it's just one person.
I think
Tucker
it has to do with it has to do, Eddie, with your political stance and how far you push it with the upper echelon of that news group and how you present it and everything. I'm pretty sure that they can go ahead and say what they want to say in the essence of talking about it, but to propagate it throughout the studio and to the people around and everything else like that, I think that's where he was stepping on some toes and was really starting to.
But the thing with Lou Dobbs is he had the most rating filled show on that network. So they would play him at 5 and then they would repeat his show again. So he had 2 shows. The same show would repeat later on down the line, right? And they canceled him. If you look at they have Trey Gowdy up there now filling in as a guest host. I'm not sure who he's filling in for, but he's doing a pretty good job. So Trey's up there. They have Tucker Carlson, he is highly opinionated. Like this guy, Tucker, man, he's out there. I think Lou Dobbs really pissed somebody off. Lou pissed somebody off. And then you have Sean Hannity, which I listen to Sean Hannity during the day on his radio show. And then he does a 9 o'clock broadcast at night on Fox and Friends. And he's a highly opinionated guy too. So something dirty and something malicious went down with Lou Dobbs. I don't know. But he had the #1 rated show. I can't believe he came in above Hannity because Hannity's like friggin' up there. But they played his show twice. He broadcast at 5, and I think they played him again at 7. And he's canceled. I didn't know he left, and he's going to Newsmax. That's news to me. I didn't know that. And I keep up with this shit all day long. So where did you guys hear that from?
We got
Here's
some good people in the chat.
Hannity speaks his mind. Hannity's very outspoken on Fox. As well as what's that other guy's name that's on Sundays? Oh God, what's his name? They call him the Great One
on Fox.
Yeah, on
Spitz?
Fox. No,
Spitz.
You talking about on Fox?
Yeah, he's on Fox on Sunday night.
Spitzer and Company. No, that's Newsmax.
Mark Levin. Mark Levin. And this
Mark Levin. He's on every night.
Yeah, no, well, I see him on Sundays.
He's on every night. If you go to 740 KCH, he's on right now. Yeah.
Well, this guy is even more opinionated.
Yeah, I'm a Mark Levin fan. He's actually on. Yeah, he's on right now. If you get on 740 KTRH, he has a show from 7 to 9, and he's out there. And yeah, Eddie, he is really opinionated. He is animated to that point.
And I really like him because he's very knowledgeable. He's a very hard right-wing conservative. Actually, he's kind of liberal, but he's very outspoken. He's a constitutionalist like you, Gordon, and he knows that Constitution inside and out,
big time.
And this boy doesn't play, you know. So I mean, there's a lot of the news stations that are still doing their jobs. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, you know, Fox on some aspects, but you know, they're very They're very, very opinionated on some of them, and I like that. I like the fact that they don't play around. And we've also got some other things that came in over here, where the Democrats introduces massive gun bill with mandated registry and more. And Navy task force says rename of warships with racist and sensitive names. Not sure what that means, but yeah, that's just some things that came in right there. Also, there's a new hope for constitutional carry in Texas, where they are trying to get it to where you don't have to have a concealed carry license to carry in the state of Texas. Yeah, it's all over here, and this is on Military News, and then also on see, this one right here is Lone Star Gun Rights. It's where this article came out, and yeah, I mean, so there's a lot of stuff taking place, and I think Texas is leading the way as far as the Second Amendment goes, and trying to push it with being able to carry and legalize your weapons and so forth and so on. The problem is you can carry all the weapons you want. However, as we all know, finding ammo is a different story. Gordon, go on with your next topic.
I want to address a little bit more of Rick's. I want to read this to everybody. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably to the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. What does that mean? That means that we, the people, have the right, according to the Constitution, when enough is enough, when our rights have been stepped on enough, to throw off that government and to install new leaders.
Exactly.
Because right now, when you're talking about that, we don't have any representation, we don't have anybody that's looking out for us. Where are all the Republicans that are supposed to be watching out for the conservative people of America? There aren't any.
They're dropping like flies.
They sold themselves for this.
Mm-hmm. I believe you're right, Gordon. I really
Whether
do.
it's oil,
Yep. And
whether
here's the
it's
problem.
oil,
Here's the
whether
problem.
it's
Democrats, I'm going to tell you right now, these Democrats and these liberals and these crazy left people, they fight. They have a fight in them. And that's something, the only thing that I kind of like about them. I don't like anything else, but that right there, that fact that they fight for the bullshit that they put out and pump to the people through the media and all this shit. They have ways to back everything up and they fight for it. Republicans tuck their tail and they run for the friggin' hills. When shit gets tough, look at this Trump impeachment bullshit going on right here. This is not even, this is a complete waste of time and money that's fixing to happen tomorrow.
Agreed. Totally
by the way, is the trial date. And Trump's not going to show up because he don't have to. Say what?
I agree totally.
No, you're
Okay.
right. He does.
So they're going to do this tomorrow. They're going to try to do this trial. He don't have to show up because he has lawyers going in there and they're going to show for him. And him not showing up doesn't mean shit. You don't have to show up to this thing. There's no reason to impeach him. Well, he's already impeached, but there's no reason to try him. He's a citizen now. This is against constitutional law. Okay. They can't, this thing's dead on arrival. All they're doing now is it's a shit show. Russia does this a lot. It's a show. By the way, one of the anchors from Newsmax got arrested and has been captive for 5 months in China. And I have a trial with this Newsmax reporter because they're claiming that she had secrets from China come down here. And it's actually a news source, not Newsmax, my bad. It's an Australian news source. But anyway, And they're doing the same thing. They're going to hold a trial. It's a show trial. Look it up. It's called a show trial. Russia's done it before. Now China's fixing to do it with this, anchor from Australian news source. And the same things happen at Capitol. They're fixing to do a show trial just to prove a point, to try to burn Trump as much as they possibly can. They hate him so much. That they're trying to destroy everything he is about, his legacy and all of this stuff. And it's tearing the country apart. Oh my God, it's splitting everybody up. It's such a divisional move. Ridiculous. And they're not going to go anywhere with it. And they know it. Even the Democrats on that side are going, dude, this shit's pointless. What are we doing?
But see, here's the problem with all this, and this is why they're doing what they're doing. They are not contesting this. They are not getting a formal court judgment on this. They are not doing any of that. They are making it that much more difficult for him to make a reappearance in politics. Because they can, if they find him guilty, which there's a 99.9% chance they will find him guilty. When they do, they're going to do what's called censoring him. They're going to tell him he cannot hold a public office any longer or ever again. So when they censure him, that's it. They say, okay, you're censored. You can't hold another public office. Maybe he's going to say, well, it was unconstitutional to begin with, so go piss up a rope. But if he tries to get back into politics, that's the first stick they're going to wave. And then it has to go to the Supreme Court. Then they have to take the case in front of the Supreme Court to find out whether it was constitutional or not. And how much time is that going to eat up when he should be trying to campaign? This is a move to keep him out of politics in the future. It has nothing to do with what he's done in the past.
I like what was said here by Mr.
I totally agree with that. They're trying to keep him from running it for office again. I get that.
I like what was said here by
but
somebody in the chat here.
They don't even have a judge. They don't even have They don't even have a judge. They don't even have a judge. Okay, the Supreme Court judge backed out. All right. They don't even have a judge to go in there and do this trial. They're getting a Senate judge, I think it is. Gordon, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a Senate judge or a circuit judge or something. What is it?
They're getting a ninth. They're getting basically a lower level state or lower federal judge to do it.
Yeah.
Because the Supreme Court, even
some traffic cop judge or some shit.
Even the Supreme Court has said, we're not. They
backed out.
All right, go ahead, Rick.
They're not touching it because they know they don't have a case against him. And so, yeah, Rick, let's have it, buddy.
I like what was said in the chat there, Eddie. Can you read that for us there on what Far Out had to say there? I think that's pretty pertinent.
Surely our government may go on and prosper without the existence of parties. I've always considered their existence as the course of the country. The curse of the country, President James Monroe, 1822.
I find that intriguing because he wrote that in 1822, and how relevant is this today that we have two parties cutting and shredding and choking each other out for existence just for a power play. And this is all it is, gentlemen. It's a power play. It is the coup. It's been nothing more than a coup over what happened with Mr. Trump. And it's continuing to be a coup to overtake the constitutionality and the very existence of what we call a political party. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. They want a one world government. And this is what they're looking at. I truly believe that, gentlemen.
One world government, it's on its way. They've been trying to push this through since the Obama.
Totally agree.
And they're going to keep pushing. And right now they've got their opportunity and they're not going to stop. Right now they've got their foot in the door. They're going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And they're going to do whatever it takes to get that one world government going. They started it in the Obama era and they're going to continue it now.
I have a prediction.
Why so hot after Trump, because
it's Obama's third term.
I have a prediction for everybody. I want everybody to follow me a little bit. With what's going on with the trial, President Trump is our former President Trump. Everybody knows he is a businessman, and he does not lay down easily. So when they censure him, that's going to go to the Supreme Court within a year and a half max. Okay. The Supreme Court's going to look at it all, weigh it. And if they do their jobs, it's going to get thrown out. When it gets thrown out, they're going to say that former President Trump is now creating and continuing to commit insurrection by creating and perpetuating a further rift with the people in the United States. And they're going to call on a group to come settle the unrest that's in the streets. And it's not going to be our military, because our military is a broadsword. Our military doesn't belong in the streets.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening, but I can also see blue helmets trying to hit the streets as well, too.
That's what's going to hit the streets of the blue helmets.
First one I see.
I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think they're going to throw this case out as soon as it hits the courts. That's what I see.
But if it does,
I don't think it's going to come to that point.
But if it
they're going to realize if
it hits the courts,
you're right. If it does pass the courts,
they're going to throw it out, and that's what's going to perpetuate the divide. There's not an option. There are 75 million Trump supporters out there who are waiting for this to be done right. And if we don't get it done right, if we don't get it done the way it's supposed to be done, then we are doing exactly what the Democrats say we are doing. But it has to be done the right way. And you can only cheat somebody for so long. I liken it to a group of guys sitting around the cards playing poker until the ace falls out of somebody's sleeve. What happened to him? He didn't live very long after that ace hit the table. And the Democrats know this. So if they can try to discredit him and accuse him of perpetuating divide and perpetuating insurrection in the country, they're going to do it. And that's when the quote that I said earlier is going to come to pass. This two-party system that we have, and this ability for people our politicians to have term limits, to keep fresh blood in there, to keep his hierarchies from becoming dominant in the Senate and in the House and even in the presidency, has got to come to a crushing end at some point.
I think if he goes into court, right, they pull up what he said in his speech, which was nothing of the sort of insurrection that they claim it was. All they have to do is play video clips of when all these other politicians came up and said, get in their face in the streets. So you see a bunch of Trump supporters, you get in their face. You do this, you do that. You confront them. That was inciting violence on the Democratic side right there.
Yes.
You can use their own words against them. When Trump said, go down there, speak freely, use your voice, do this. He didn't say go over there and storm a building. In fact, this shit was happening as his speech was going on, before he even ended his speech. This was all pre-planned. The FBI has evidence. They have evidence bombs and pipe bombs and shit were placed at the Capitol the night before. This has nothing to do with Trump. This is stuff. This is Antifa and BLM or whatever the case may be. Whoever the fuck was down there. This is the people that were over there putting this shit down. They don't have hard evidence of Trump saying, hey, go down there, storm the Capitol building and cause all this shit. That's the thing. That's the evidence that I'm looking at. This is evidence. Now, given the track record of the Supreme Court, Gordon, I agree with you. Are they going to do the right thing? Probably not. Do they need to throw this case out? Absolutely. Because I think that's just what's going to happen. They're going to throw the case out. Hope they don't. Or if they throw the case out, and like you're saying, they continue this shit to try to tear up his legacy to where he doesn't run for office again. That is a high possibility. I understand your point. And that's a good point. But my prediction, I think they're going to throw the case out and hopefully let this thing go.
Hang on, James. Eddie, would you take a look at who's in the chat there with us, please?
I will. We have our favorite buddy with the sexy voice, James, your buddy, our buddy. It's far out.
Where's my dude? Where's my dude? I ain't seen him in a long time. Where you at?
Far out.
Oh, it's far out now. Okay. All right. It's far out now.
And
you can't hide from me, far out, sexy voice man.
Now, real quick, Christine Park says on here, President Trump used to be their buddy until he became president. He knows all their deep, dirty secrets, and they're scared. So, and I think she's right, because he does know a lot of the deep, dirty secrets, and they're afraid he's going to expose them. That's one reason why he is that they continuously attack him. If they can keep him on the offensive, then they feel safer. But they've got to keep him on the fence. They got to keep him on the offensive. They got to keep him backing up or trying to back him up, because if he comes forward with everything that he knows about everybody that's up there, I mean, he could sink the whole ship, and they don't want that because their pockets are being lined too well.
That's very true.
Do you guys
Gentlemen,
hear about that?
This is a political chess game that is being played out in front of us. This is the most unscrupulous, ludicrous political chess game that is being played out. And actually, if it depends on the moves that are made by the parties and by the people in power right now, guys. And we have some of the most elegant and the people that can run these games are just downright nasty players. There is a protocol and etiquette in chess, but at the same time, you want to defeat your opponent at all costs. And that is exactly what this chess game is all about, gentlemen. This political chess game is for all the marbles. It is for all the power, and it's for all the people.
Well,
so the thing is they need 16 Republicans to vote on this trial. They have 50 Democrats. They need 16 Republicans to go and say, okay, guilty. It's not happening. There's Democrats on this side that are questioning this thing, saying, yeah, you know what? I think this is bullshit, but I'm going to stick with my party because I don't want to get ousted and lose a bunch of money. So they're all, if there's 50 Democrats and they need 16 for the vote to pass, or they need 16 for the indictment and everything else, they're not going to get that. That's not going to happen. But like Gordon said, when it doesn't happen, it's going to piss everyone off, and then they're going to say, "Oh well, what can we do next?" And I think that's what's going to go down. Gordon, I hope you're wrong, but hopefully they throw this thing out and leave it alone. But you make a good point.
Question.
You really do.
Let me ask everybody here a question. How many times between the three of us, the four of us rather, have we projected something is going to happen and it's happened?
Well, we're at almost 100%.
Yeah, we are. Because it's
a pretty good track record.
Yeah, it's easy for us to stand back and look at the full picture because we're not elbow deep in it. And there's an old expression that says politics, like law, is free of emotion. And I've often thought about what that genuinely means. And that basically means doesn't matter what you feel about an outcome. It doesn't matter what you feel about a certain bill. It doesn't matter what you feel about anything. It matters what the nuts and bolts are, what's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So if we take our emotion out of it and look at it, like Rick said, like a strategic game, it unfolds flawlessly. Absolutely flawlessly. There is only one problem with their plan. 75 million Americans. That is the problem with their plan.
Bingo.
Yep, I agree.
You know, and like you said, Gordon, you know, we're all passionate about what we talk about.
We got a far out. He says, can political party,
Go ahead, Eddie.
this is for Gordon, can political party activity and political party representation by people elected to represent the people be prohibited at the county and state level?
The answer to that is yes.
That's on the fence.
Just because we elect an official, and here's where it is so screwed up, and a lot of people don't realize it. Y'all remember back when the election results from each state were certified?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And our state representative stood up and said, we give in the state of Texas, we give our 34 electoral votes towards Donald Trump. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just because they're elected officials and just because we vote does not mean that those votes, that the politicians even have to listen to those votes. They can vote based off of what's on what they consider to be their quote conscience. So if we voted, if the state of Texas didn't get a single Democratic vote, but one of the state representatives went up and said publicly, we give our 34 electoral votes to Joe Biden, that's how it goes. So just because the people in the state vote that way does not mean that voice is going to be heard, because the senators and the representatives that we elect, once we give them the power to make those decisions, that's essentially what we're doing. We're giving them the power. Now, is that committing political suicide? Hell yes, it is.
Yes.
Because would we actually ever vote them into office again? Hell no. And they'd probably here in Texas be drug out in the street and beaten. I mean, cut off a knee and beat him to death with the rest of the leg. I mean, we that's just how we take it down here. But they have that ability. They have the ability to say, the voters don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to go this way because I'm voting on conscience, not on my constituents.
And Gordon, that in itself is derogatory not only toward you or me and Eddie and James and everybody that's listening right now. It's derogatory to the whole union, the State of the Union. Why? Because it's the epitome of what we call civil war. It portrays that they are against us. It divides us even further. And what gets me is that we sit there and we see it unfolding right before our eyes. Now, just like you said, almost 95% of what we've talked about on this show has come true. I remember 6 months ago, a gentleman that we were talking about blood being in the streets, and a lot of people said, no, it won't go that far. No, it can't go that far. Well, gentlemen, it did. It did. In fact, it went to death. It got to the point where people were being beaten. People were being beat to death and kicked and maimed in the streets of America. And where are the charges for those people having that done? Where has that gone? Can anybody say Ashley Babbitt? Does anybody remember her?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what happened?
Yeah,
to her?
and who does anybody know? Does anybody know who actually shot her? Anybody at all? Because
it was said that it come from another
all of a sudden
room
can't name the person that shot her.
Right.
It came from a senator's bodyguard,
Mm.
and they won't let you know who did it. They won't let you know.
And isn't
that amazing?
I love the fact that AOC,
you got somebody, an unarmed vet got shot in the throat.
And I love the fact that AOC is now saying how her life was in danger.
Oh, that bit.
She is right there in the same line with Obama as trying to stay relevant and trying to stay in front of the cameras. There was at no time.
Oh my God. That donkey faced bitch needs to go pull a wagon somewhere. Oh my God. Dude, she is ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
Deborah Fox says, we are upholding the Constitution as patriots. They are against the Constitution. If they aren't dealt with legally, they will be dealt with by the patriots.
Well,
you think it will come to that?
Yes, I do. It come in 1700 and whatever it was. It come to that, and that's where the colonial states originated, because we weren't going to be bossed around by a British Empire. There was sedition. There was downright lawlessness in the streets going against the British Empire, because we were not going to be slave to a British Empire. That's where the Revolutionary War come in, and that's how it started. And if history has any credibility about the kind of history that's been played as far as our political parties are concerned, it's going to happen again.
I agree.
What do you think, James? James, what do you think?
Yeah, man. Did y'all see this? This whole, what is it? Nasty. You got me right here.
Yeah, we got you.
I think I think you're laughing a little bit, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they got some bad air in here or something. I don't know what's going on. You see this? Oh, that was it, Rick. That was a trigger for you. No, this whole nasty Pelosi thing, where she imposed a $5,000 fine on people that bypass this metal detector in the Capitol, right? And she goes and bypasses the metal detector herself, and now they're calling on her to pay a $5,000 fine. Well, one of the Republican guys, he got fined, and this is something that she came up with. This is her rule, and she bypasses the damn thing. And yeah, Deborah. Yeah, there's some bean action going on in here. And she bypasses the damn thing, and now they're calling on her to pay this fine. And several news outlets reached out to her, and imagine that she won't, respond for a comment. But this is the hypocrisy that's going on, and it's good for you and not for me kind of thing. And it's freaking hilarious, and it just shows what kind of leadership we have up there in the Capitol. And everybody's appalled by this thing, I mean, it's like it went down like a fart in church. It really did. And I mean, just what do you guys think about a fart in church or nasty Pelosi? Let's just leave it at that. Nasty Pelosi.
Well, it goes back to the same thing. It's like having that parent. It's do as I say, not as I do. Don't smoke cigarettes as I light up another one. Drinking alcohol is bad as I crack my 15th beer. It's those kind of things. And they're not just saying these are the rules, follow them. They're saying these are the rules and everybody but me follow them. Look, for instance, where did they establish this thought process? How about with Obamacare? Because if you become an elected official that sits in the House or the Senate, you are exempt. You don't have to follow that law. So it's not a matter of saying, hey, these are the rules, follow it. It's I'm above the rules. I don't have to follow it. And that's what we're looking at. That's as cut and dry as I can make it.
It doesn't surprise me at all. Honestly, it really doesn't.
Well, I mean, at least at least it ain't wet and runny, Yeah,
James, your aunt's been breaking rules from the get-go when she went and got her hair done.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rick, what do you got to say? You're over there
cracking up. Oh my God.
Now, Deborah said if I say
Oh, mercy.
her channel would be removed. Deborah, type away. And not only that, Deborah, we're going to bring you onto the show. Probably if we can next week, if we can get you on here. And not only that, but I know the girls had been talking about wanting to do a political show without us.
I vote yes.
I vote yes. And I think Deborah, Danielle, and look at Gordon. Gordon's cringing. I see him. Yes, Gordon. Even your better half.
So we're going to turn this over to the ladies, or what?
We're going to turn this over to the ladies.
Do you understand the kind?
No. Listen to me. We're going to turn this over to the ladies for one show. Rick, you're the only one going to be in here to narrate. I'll get this puppy fired up.
Lucky guy.
And you're going to jump in here. I think this
it's going to be quite a challenge. I accept that challenge. I really do. I think the ladies have a very strong point. I think the ladies can make a very strong case, and they're very intelligent. They're very assertive in what they know and how to bring that about. I accept that challenge.
You guys have any idea the amount of damage control we're going to have to do after that show, just for my wife alone?
I'll try to keep it down. I'll try to keep it down, Gordon.
So, what do you think, Deborah? I think Deborah will do it. I know she will.
And
I know my wife will definitely do it.
I know there's Janice Leah. I know there's Lisa. I know there's others that are going to be wanting to cast their vote also.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
Hey,
Jesus Christ, the Emperor Nancy has no clothes. Oh my God,
Darren,
I think I'd rather see like any.
That is the nastiest fucking image I've ever heard of, Darren. Thank you very much.
God, no shit. Damn. Oh my God, I've seen more wrinkles on a Star Trek villain. Oh God,
this is going to be a great show. So we'll pick a date. You girls get everything ready. Not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday. Let's mark that on the calendars. Let's see what that's going to be. And everybody take heed, because you're
not this Sunday, but the following.
So the 21st of February. February 21.
Okay, 21st.
Analytical will be hosted by the wives.
The ladies.
Ladies night.
And let's hope they don't get airborne on the show. But hey, opinions. Hey, it'd be great.
Yes, well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be
this one. I'll be able to sit outside and do it. She does. Yeah. Oh yeah.
No. I'm sitting back watching this. I want to get the viewer's perspective of this. I think it's going to be really cool. And I think it's going to be a real big hit. I think it's going to be a success. And James, you have to help me do my homework. James.
No, hell no. She don't help me do my homework.
Are you gonna do some homework for?
It's always the
negative home slice. I'm not doing that.
Always the nerd that has to do homework.
You know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. Right. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll cook some cabbage and some cowboy beans some night before, and make sure she has a good, solid, full meal
with some,
going into the show, and maybe some lima beans or some shit like that, like cabbage, lima beans, something good, something hearty, so when she can come to the show,
James.
Yeah, man, some good old, like some Steel Reserve beer, Yeah, like some turkey necks or something. I don't know.
Stay on task.
What?
Stay on task. So
always on it. Hey, ain't you got some ribs on it? You got ribs on a smoker right now?
No.
Okay.
Question
So
of
he
the
did
night.
have his shit. Okay.
Question of the night for you guys. How do we fix America? And what does it look like fixed?
That's going
Well,
to take a whole nother show.
I can tell you real quick what it would look like fixed is the way it was when Trump was on.
I disagree.
I think that would be fixed.
I do
as far
too.
as what
I think
no American being. And why do you disagree?
a fixed America was when I think a fixed America like when Reagan was in office. To be honest with you.
I disagree. Rick?
Really? Where are you at? What do you think?
I think a fixed America is going to be America run not by any political party, but by America itself. It's going to take a completely restructuring of our political parties and our political system for this to come out right. Because right now it is so bastardized, it is so corrupt that it has to start from ground level zero. And the only way we can start from ground level zero is for the people of America to start being united together as American people. This isn't a racist thing, people. It's not white. It's not black. It's not yellow. It's not brown. It's American. And the sooner we find that out and the sooner that we agree upon that, the better off we will be. That way we can have a chance to right what is wrong with America.
You know what? I stand corrected. Amen, Rick.
I agree to a certain extent.
I'm sticking with Reagan.
There's only one way to fix America. And that's to show what happens when you go against the wishes of the American people. When the American people have finally had enough and they do shed that government, we have to restructure this government with individuals, not parties.
Exactly.
You don't go back to a 2, 3, 5 party system. You stay with people. You have somebody you want to run who wants to run for president, fine, run for president. But whoever loses becomes vice president. 1776 rules apply. You want to fix America, you take these traitors and people who are actual traitors, you don't send them to Guantanamo Bay to live out their lives in a beach house. You put them up against a wall on Capitol Hill and you put a hole in them and let them bleed out.
You know what, Gordon? Why don't you do a montage for next Sunday on the Constitution, the way it was originally written and the way things actually should be? Can you do that?
I can do that.
Put that together for next Sunday, because I really want you to put this out there, because there's so many people, including myself, that are not educated in that area from that far back in the way the Constitution was actually meant to be followed.
Well, and I want to remind everybody of one very important thing. The Constitution of the United States was not written for or by a bunch of guys who were sitting around drinking ale in a bar. These guys had just sloughed off the government and a frigging king.
Yes, they did.
So they set forth these rules and said, these are the rules that will help govern this country long after we're gone. These were rules that they said, this is what needs to happen in order to make this country successful. And over time, we've done nothing but jerk off all over them. And think that, well, that was a good for back then, but it doesn't really apply now. No, I'm sorry.
Those rules are timeless.
Those rules are timeless. That's what created the foundation of this country. It's what gave the LGBTQ the right to be there. It gave them their rights there. It doesn't matter about anything else. All men are created equal under God. It's in the Constitution. And the second we forget those things and we start looking at politics as unfortunately, Rick, as a game, because that's what they've turned it into. Mm-hmm. And they've stopped the pursuit of making America great. And that's what the Constitution was there for. It wasn't to protect the politicians. Sorry. It was to protect the four of us and the people in this chat room and 75 million Americans and the other Americans that voted stupidly. Supposedly. That's what the Constitution is for.
Totally agree.
Well, gentlemen, we are running out of time. We need to start doing our closing. And Gordon, try and make that for about 15 or 20 minutes when you start writing it up. Then we'll spend the rest of the time discussing it and what things will look like and what should happen. And we're going to start off with Rick closing.
Gentlemen, when this nation was founded, when the White House was built and everything else that was built around it was built, there was something that they put down and it become the building and the foundation of what Deborah Fawcett was talking about as far as the foundation. It's called a cornerstone. Every one of us know what a cornerstone is. And right now, we need a new cornerstone built upon what we as the American people, the patriots of this world right now, we need to take what has been given us from history and put it on that cornerstone and lay a new foundation for us, the American people. We need a new foundation laid for the children of the United States. We need a new foundation laid for my grandchildren, your grandchildren. And if we don't do that, if we do not come together and build a new foundation and have a new cornerstone etched with our names and wants and wishes and desires as American patriots, we're going to lose it all.
I agree. James.
Man, I'd tell you, the only thing, well, I don't know if it's not, but one thing Trump was wrong about was, after he's out of office, that the media will not have anything to cover. And it's going to be a boring media. Ratings are going to drop and this and that. And the reason I think he's wrong about that is, far he's right, CNN's ratings have dropped dramatically. But the fact is, they're not reporting on actually what's going on. So there's so much more shit going on now than what there was when he was in office. There's so many things. Biden, he's done signed 46, I think now, executive orders that does nothing to help us, nothing to help we the people. And I think that's a major problem. And I mean, like I said before, just buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride, and we're going to have to deal with a lot of dumb shit. I think the next hope or anything we have on the horizon is 2022. But that's basically it. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I hate to sound like a downer, but this is the world we're living in now, and we're under a dementia administration, and it seems like Biden's dementia, and I'm not making fun of Biden, but I think his dementia is actually spreading through his administration, because now they're starting to come out of the woodworks on that side of the aisle, and it's ridiculous. I don't know. it's just going to be a wild ride, man. We're just going to have to deal with this and see what we can do. But hopefully, our party can come together and, maybe show a light at the end of the tunnel that's not a train for once. Man, I just hang in there. Just hang in there. Don't lose sleep over it. I always say thank you for letting me be a part of this show. Appreciate you guys. Love you to death. And, don't let this politics shit run your life. Get out there, go swing on a swing in a park and try to chill.
Absolutely.
Best I got for what's going on, man. I know it's not much, but that's all I got.
Important closing.
With everything that we've said and I've said tonight, we've got to remember one very important thing, guys. So we have to very closely monitor who we are allowing to run, even our cities. Be informed. Know what you're getting yourself into. Know who you're basically crawling in bed with when it comes to the political aspect of what's going on in our lives. We, for the longest time, we've let the politicians tell us what we know to be wrong, what we know is bad, and we've continued to do it. But at some point, people, as uncomfortable as it may make us, we are going to have to stand up and say enough is enough. And we are going to have to take this out of the equation and do what's right for our families. And that's all I've got for tonight. And I'm going to duck out a little early because I've got still stuff I've got to do. So good night, all. Y'all take care.
Thank you, Gordon.
Good job there, Gordon. All right, everybody. Remember the 21st of February, the women of Political Analytical will be running the show with Rick Warren steering the boat. So Rick, yeah, buddy, you're gonna be representing.
Good luck with that, brother.
Us.
Oh, thank you.
Good luck with that, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are a stronger and more secure and courageous man than I am.
I think that's going to be really cool. But everybody,
they're going to
be
Eddie. They're going to come out live, bro. They're going to come out live, man. Like they're going to come out swinging.
Now you're going to have Lisa on here too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to count a number. How many is going to be on this show?
There's going to be 4. We're going to let 4 on here total.
Okay.
So it's whoever we can get on here with you, then it's going to be 4. So it's going to be 3 of them with you.
Okay.
And
I'm talking shit, but it's probably going to be a really good show. I'm talking shit. Hey, I'm just talking shit for the record. It's going to be a good show.
It will be a good show.
It's going to be a really good show.
It will be.
So everybody
got to mess with the girls.
Stay safe. Keep strong. Don't let the politics get you down. Remember, this is where we can come on here and release and talk about all the stuff that's going on. And no, we don't care about anybody's feelings, just like the intro always says. And we're going to keep talking, and we're going to keep putting things out there, and we're going to be talking and speaking our mind, because that's what we do, and that's our right as Americans. And we're going to continue to do this always and forever. And thank you, everybody.
Well,
we love you guys. We appreciate you being on here. Please share the show on your pages. Share our podcast more than anything, multiple times if you can. The more listeners we get, the better. So y'all take care. Once again, we love you. Be safe. Stay strong. From Political Analytical, I'm Eddie Hill. Take care, everybody.
Good night, people. Thank you.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for showing up.
See you, James.